It's Capital Extra, DJ Semtex. It's officially Big Bad Friday. The moment's arrived with the landlord himself.
Well, go on.
How you doing, man? How you feeling right now?
Tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying not to feel like that, but I'm knackered.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
How long did it take to make this album? Like,
Probably about like 10 months, nine months. Maybe.
serious?
Started from like April. And then I'll probably finish like, I don't know. It depends how you put it. Do you know what I mean? It's like if it's like when I finish my, cause I did my bits, then I got the feature. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and then mix them up. So the whole process probably like about 9 months or something. Realistically, you know what I mean?
So this is your 5th album, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, man. Isn't it?
5 albums.
Right.
17 mixtapes.
I don't even know how many mixtapes. I can't even tell you, to be honest.
I think.
Because some are unofficial, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, you got, but I don't know, you know. I'd have to. I need to actually figure out how many mixtapes, to be honest.
No one else has done that in our scene, in our country.
Yeah.
That's deep. It's like it's crazy because, you know, a lot of people didn't want to see you get to this point, innit? And it's like, 5th album, you've done it, man.
Yeah.
But you're doing it. It's dope.
Yeah, no, respect, man. Respect. That's it.
Well, look, let's get into this. Let's get into the album. Track 1. Like, how did that come about? Like the GASHI feature. Like, you guys have worked together before, right?
Yeah. That one was more. It wasn't even really like that, you know. It was already done. I already laced that thing, and then like I was gonna put a hook on there, and then so I was trying like some hooks, and that way it wasn't really, you get me. Then GASHI must have came through. That was just in the country and that. And then he's just laced that, like, you know what, you know what, you know what, you know what I mean? Like, it was just vibes in. Then it was the hook first, but, like, the way I've laced it, like, there was no hook in it. Like, I split, because it's one long verse, innit? So I split it in half, then put a hook in there, but it wasn't working. Do you know what I mean? Because it was, that's not the way it was created, you know what I'm saying? So I just, like, put it back together and just made it one long verse, then put GASHI on it, and then it sounded like the intro to me. Do you know what I mean?
How did you and GASHI connect? Because it's like you guys have got like a great working relationship. Like, he talks highly of you, like when he was in the country and everything.
And through London
On the track.
Yeah, we had a tune. London asked me to jump on the tune one time. He said, "Yeah, I got some mad banger," and then he said, "Yes, we've got some brother GASHI on there." And I checked him out. But the tune was hard. And then I just laced it. Then after that, me and GASHI started reasoning, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like his music, man. His music's cold.
But I'm not going to lie, I'm gassed for you. I was looking at it today. I was like, it's 5 albums. I was like, it's deep. Like, it's crazy that you got to this point. It's dope. You know, this is a real celebration right now. But the album, it just sounds mad cinematic. Is that what you wanted to do this time around?
Yeah, no, not really. It's more, yeah, well, it's always cinematic, but it was more like I wanted to just make an album like where you just roll to, like in the whip, like, you know, like just lay back, like gangster music. You know what I mean? Like just zone out music. You know what I'm saying? You just smoke or just chill or just think. You know what I mean? That kind of like background shit, background music. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like.
I heard 187 early in it. I already told you that was the joint. Like, this is fire, man. Like, the video as well. What gave you the idea to do the video? Is it Ant-Man? Is it an Avengers thing?
Nah, the video came off the back of the trailer, innit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
But even the whole thing, the whole Big Bad thing, like, where did that come from for the trailer? Like, it's smashing up. Like, I see you kicking that police car with passion.
I see someone comment. that was for the culture. But it's like, obviously the album is called Big Bad, so it's just, that's what when I thought Big Bad, that's what come in my head, like a giant. But the trailer felt like it matched the album. You know what I'm saying? Like the epic movie feel of the trailer.
What was the most fun part about making that?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Watching it back.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, just watching it back, like, because obviously the first time, like, man, ain't no movie star, nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, but when I was doing the green screen thing, it was weird, innit? Like, kicking thin air and shit, and you know what I mean? And then when I was, like, getting shot, like, from the things, like, was just throwing, like, green sellotape balls at me, and, you know, man, just, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. So I was thinking, but we had to do it over and over and over and over, you know what I mean? Like, it took all day. So then I was thinking, right, this is long, man. I don't think I could do this full time, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then when I watched it back, I was like, fuck, this is mad. Like, I wanted more. Like, I thought, yeah, man, I want to, because, like, when I watched, like, me grabbing a helicopter, throwing it to the helicopter, I was thinking, oh, that's fucking sick. That's me, blood, man. Man's dashing a helicopter, blood, and stepping out of tank. I can't believe that's me. So I wanted more. So then obviously that's where the video come, like, so the next time when man's doing it, man's ready now, like, you know, cause I know the end result now, you know what I mean? So man's more getting into it, kicking the police car with passion again, you know.
So what, we gonna see you in Black Panther 2?
Nah.
But you know what I liked about the 187 video as well is, like, at the end, innit, when you look at book and your eyes light up and everything, and then it's like, it's mad, it's deep, it's deep. Nah, it's dope, man. 187, that's the banger. It's the anthem, innit? Straight away already. You say on the line that you got stabbed in the back. What happened? I can't imagine anybody stabbing you in the back.
Yeah, no one, like, physically stabbed me.
Right. But no, but I'm saying, like, but I don't know anyone.
Just like, obviously I'm a big man now, like, you know, no one's like, I've had brethrens and then they snake you, or you, do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You end up cutting off friends. You know how it goes, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you go through life, you learn, and maybe your circle gets smaller. Do you know what I mean? You cut off, like, you cut the bad out of your life, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just more saying that, really. You know?
Because I was listening to it, I was like, who would be crazy enough to stab gigs in the back? Like,
yeah, loads of people. That's Peckham.
Yo, you've got the club banger thing locked, man. Like, on every level, from, you know, like Whipping Excursion to what you did with KMT to, you know, Lockdo to Lingua. It just sounds like another club banger. It sounds like something we're going to be hearing all summer, like all year, all the way through till next year. You like making these kind of joints, isn't it? Club bangers.
You got to have one on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's important. That's a club. Every like classic hip hop album had one. You know what I mean? That's why when everyone was like jumping on the pop thing and saying, you got to make a tune for radio and you have to like do something pop or something fun. I used to think, right, I never grew up on that. Like, man grew up on when the man's dropping out and they drop like a club banger or a R&B, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me?
Yeah.
So that's like standard where I'm coming from, listening to hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
I do a lot of different types of shows, and then your tracks react with different crowds in different ways. So say like with Whipping Excursion, you get the trap crowd, you either get like the roadman going nuts to it, or you get the students, whatever. Like, but with these kind of joints, you just get the women, man. I look good as a DJ when I play these tracks. Like, it must feel good to you when you see like totally different crowd getting down to these kind of joints.
Yeah, of course. That's the most important thing. The most, like, nothing comes before that, apart from shutting down a party, a show, a fest. You know what I mean? That's all that's important. You know, so that's why I'm not really into the nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't really care about it. Like, you know what I mean? Even like yesterday when everyone's like, yeah, bro, like the Brits, or like, that's not really like, oh, you're not going to the Brits, you're not going. And I'm like, it's not like that. First thing they were saying was, what, boycott? And that And I'm like, nah, like, it's just not my like man's thing.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not like interested in it. You know what I mean? Like, man's more interested in fucking up the dance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you get me? Because that's all it boils down to in the end, innit?
definitely.
It doesn't boil down to the Brits
Yeah.
or an award show, or if it boils down to like stepping out in the club. You're out. You want to hear your tunes being played. You're in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you're performing it. You know what I mean? It like always boils down to that. You get me? So that's just the only thing that's important for me. So I'm always gonna lace a club banger. You know what I mean?
Yo, checking out the album, yo, Spun It. It's fire, man. Like you said, this is definitely it's like the album to drive to, right?
Yeah. Zone out thing.
It's a banger, man. It's a banger. What made you want to work with JADAKISS?
Kiss. That's Jada. There ain't nothing more to be said about it. Come on, you know what I'm saying? That's Kiss, bro.
How did this come about? Because I didn't expect that. Like I know you know real hip hop. I know you're a fan of like real lyricism and everything else. But when I saw the track list arrive online, I was like, wow, all right, that's dope.
Yeah, man's the original D block though. I've always been, you know what I mean? Always. You get me? That Stars is my favorite. You know what I mean?
How did this come about?
The Kiss thing.
Yeah.
This is actually the first tune that I recorded for the album. It's like, one sec. It's like, I was building this place. This is actually how I wasn't even making an album. So like, I was building this place.
The studio's crazy, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
You got kitchen.
Yeah.
You got custom pool table, everything.
Yeah.
Bar. It's dope complex, man. It's dope.
Yeah, no respect, man. That's what I'm saying. We was building this from nothing, you know what I mean? Took like 3 months or something. So it was getting built. I was just building it like so I've got somewhere to work, like, you know what I mean? Like, away from everything private, you know what I'm saying? Like, I weren't building it like to start an album, you know what I mean? Just thought, yeah, man, I just need a professional space, you know what I mean? Like, where professional people can come as well, like, and not get bothered, you know what I'm saying? So I was just building this space, and then when it came to like being finished, we got the equipment, and then we strung out the equipment, and Saj was like, yeah, you can, it's done. And I said, what do you mean it's done? What, like I can record? And he said, yeah, you can record. So then I like put the beat on. That's a Jalil beat. Put the beat on, and then like I was like testing the mic. You get me? So I was like, yeah. But I was rapping like freestyling. Yeah, mic check, left, right, and then it's right, left. Yeah. Then I started rapping front, step it, and I'm like step, like then I started flowing like, but like it was just natural like that. You know what I'm saying? Like then I laced that. Then I was like, yeah, it's time for the album. You get me? Like as soon as I laced that, I knew it was time. You know what I mean? But then I said, yeah, man, I need to get Kiss on this, bro. Like you get me? Like that's the only person who can fuck this up. You get me? Like Kiss. You know what I mean? So I had to make that happen.
I see why it started the album now.
He wasn't. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, when I made that, I thought, right, this is hot. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, UK,
Front step it, and I'm like, step. You know what I'm saying?
it just bangs. Like,
hard, bro.
and you know what's crazy? Like, I was listening back to Walk in the Park the other day. Is, you know, you're in a totally different place. Like from when you recorded that to where you're in a place where you're recording the most recent album, Big Bad. You sound like you're having fun with it now. You sound like it's just with ease. Like, you know, it's dope. Hear the progression.
Yeah, of course. Man's in a different place, isn't it?
What made you do Show Me Respect? You're respected right now. You're the landlord, man. You got property, you got the studio complex and everything else. It's like, you really are, literally.
That's a complex.
It is. It's a complex, man. Like, yo, listen, in our game, studio is like most of the time, you know yourself, it's a room, innit? Like it's like you said when you was recording earlier on, you didn't even have a toilet like back in the day or whatever.
Yeah.
This is prosperous, bro.
Yeah. This is where, to be honest, you know what it is, yeah? This is where it all comes from, though. You know what I mean? Like this is where everything comes from. You make when you make the music in the studio, that's how it brings everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's your kitchen, like, you know what I mean? So your kitchen's got to be the cook up, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Man, he was cooking the finest. He needed the proper laboratory, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's how you should deal with yours, because that's where you're making the product, like, you know what I'm saying? You get me? So I thought, raw, like, how's man, like, buying this and you doing that, and but you ain't even got, like, the place to cook your product, like, you know what I'm saying? That's mad. That's actually dumb. You know what I mean? So, man, whipped up the proper, where you're comfortable, you know what I mean? Like, man, them can chill and do whatever out there. You're in here working, man's in there cooking, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I mean?
This is dope, man. This is literally the best place to listen to your album as well. It's like, this is where you made it. It's crazy. Capital Xtra, DJ Semtex, here with the landlord himself, Gigs. Yo, Gigs, man, that's the kind of rap I like, man.
Yeah,
like soulful sample.
I know that's your thing. I know your thing.
Hey, shout out to Mex as well.
Yeah.
But what kind of what zone was you? What zone was you in when you put that track together? Was it just one of them? You just put the beat on, you just let it flow.
Yeah, that was the vibes. That's Snips' beat. You know Snips?
Yeah.
So Snips is a man that he's always gassing in it on Twitter, innit? Yeah. So he said, "Yeah, man, I got beats still." So I thought, I thought, you know what? I bet my man's beats are hard, because he's such a gasser. Yeah. I thought his beats gotta be hard, because you know what I mean. Like he's a man that loves to talk about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I thought he can't have shit beats. You know them ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me?
Yeah.
You don't want a man to say your beats are whack, bruv. Like, you know, as a hip hop man. You know what I mean? So I knew he was gonna have some proper. So he just put it on. The man was just like vibes in and just
wow.
Just laying it. That's why there's no hook on it like that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy. Hey, shout out to Snips, man. He did his thing. It's a banger.
Hard, bro.
Yo, I didn't expect to hear you singing, bro.
Nah, that ain't singing. That's like that's a zone.
Nah, that's crazy. I mean, you in Theophilus, London, you always, when you have connected, you've done something different. Like, why is that? Because you've done a track with him before. Again, that was off the wall as well.
Man's talented, bro. He comes with the bangers, bro. You know what I mean? He comes with the work.
What's it like when you work with him? Does he push you, or is he just like?
He sings the vibes, like, you know what I mean? Even on that, you can see he just vibes and I know this white girl in the visa. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's just a straight flow, like melody thing. You know what I mean? Like,
how did you get Labyrinth on a track? Because he doesn't really collab with many people these days. Well, not for a while. Like, you know, he's got his own thing going on. He's doing his own projects. But like, you know, it's mad. You got this album that's just dropped, and it's like you got all these big, dope, creative features, and it's just like it's like effortless almost. Like, what with Lab? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, that one was more. Cause I've always thought Labyrinth was talented. You know what I mean? Like, but his thing was way in the future. Like way, like even you see like Earthquake and that. Like, that's madness, bro. You know what I mean? When I first heard that, I didn't even know it was. I was shocked it was an English brother that made that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, raw, like that was Labyrinth. Like, yeah. That's when I was starting to respect it. Like, you get me? And then, but even that, like, even though that was popping out, that was huge. That's a big, massive tune, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and then like, when I was in jail, I used to hear that express yourself thing. You get me? But I knew that weren't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was too like soulful. You get me? Like, for like for where the game was then. You get me? Like, I was thinking, raw, like, man. But I used to think that's a proper tune, like, you get me? Like, proper vibes, you get me? So I've always thought, yeah, man, I'd like to work with him. But obviously, I just never ended up working. I weren't really, man was making some, like, gangster shit, like, super gangster music. You know what I mean? I weren't really like, in the space I am now. You know what I mean? Like, you get me? Then, obviously, when it was time for this album, I said, yeah, like, let me hit him up. Just hit him up.
That's it.
Then he came down, and then we just...
That's dope. That's crazy.
That was a vibe still. Yeah. It cooked up food, all that. You know what I mean? Like, drank. And then just made this thing here.
What's your best album?
What, like, out of mine?
Yeah.
It's gotta be this one. It's gotta be.
I didn't want to say that, but it just going through it, it feels like a journey. It's like a different journey to the other albums. Not to put anything on the other albums like that, but this is like, this feels like in a totally different place than before, man.
Yeah.
It's
But
dope.
all my albums are different. Though. It's not really like that. Like Walk in the Park, man, was heavily in the streets. Do you know what I'm saying? When Will It Stop? That's when I was making a transition. You get me, like, and then flipping. What was the one after that? Not When Will It Stop. Let 'Em Have It. That's when I was. And then When Will It Stop? Like, I just come out of jail. Like, man was in a dark place. You get me? Then Landlord is in. You get me? That was like some greasy shit. Just like taking it back. You know what I mean? So everything's like different. It's not really. I don't really like put them in. You know what I mean? Like competition like that.
You got guests on the album.
Yeah. My guy.
So what was it again? Was it just like a vibes thing? You're like, you know what, I need guests on this. Was it specifically you got this track and you're like, I need to it'll fit this?
Yeah. It was me on there just by myself, and then I tried to finish it, and then I thought, nah. Gets to fuck this up still, so I got slapped him on there.
Get guests on the phone.
Yeah. One time.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. Like, that, like, all of these joints are just straight up bangers. Like, I'm not gassing you. I'm just saying it, and it's just the truth. You know, I'll be blazing all of these on my show, like, over the next few weeks individually. Like, was there ever a point where you're like, got too many? Like, let me just do a 10-track album, or was you like, nah, it's got to be 18? Because it's like, there's a lot of quality on it, you know. It's like, some artists, I don't know, some artists wouldn't be able to make an album like this, and like we're up to track 10 now, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, there's more to go, there's more bangers to go. Was there ever a point where you're like, you know what, I might be able to like just put 10 tracks on there, then drop another album at the end of the year, do it like that?
That don't even sound like me.
I'm just saying that, but it's
no 10-track albums for me.
I know, but I'm saying it's the quality on it's crazy. You know, it's there's a lot of depth in there. Like, you're going through a lot of different styles, a lot of different directions. It's dope.
Yeah, respect.
Is it just a case you were just like,
I just said, yeah, like, it's gonna be 18 tracks. I was just making bare tunes, like bang, 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 and then like I probably had like 13 or 14 by the time I'd done that bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And I said, yeah, man, it's gonna be 18. You know what I mean?
What inspires you? Because your work ethic is just increasing. It's not slowing down. Like, you're not, you know what, I done all right with that album, I did all right with this look, and then, take a year or two out. Like, what keeps you motivated?
It's music.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's dope. That's dope. Let's get into another joint from the album, like Nostalgia featuring Lil Yachty. Gotta give a big shout to Coach K from QC. He's always bigging you up anytime he's in town. He's like, yo, I will connect with gigs. Like,
I know Coach for like 10 years. I ain't spoke to him for years though. I spoke to him the other day because obviously he was doing this. I know him from like when he was like with Gucci and that, and Jeezy and that. You know them days.
Yeah.
Remember first he was with Jeezy.
Yeah.
And then Gucci that from them. I mean,
what made you want to work with Yachty?
nah, Yachty's my little brother still. He's a good youth still. You know what I mean? But, we was gonna lay something anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, cause most of them, man, like, I chat to them, I don't even do music with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, they're just like, man's a bit like fog and that, like, or like Gunner and like more time, man, we just link them and chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, smoke and flex. You know what I mean? It's not even like same with Yachty. You know what I mean? It's all the same kind of circle. You get me? They ain't even done music, but I thought, right, man, I should lay something on that. You get me? And then I laced the tune and I said, yeah, I got some bang on that. He said, yeah, send that. And then I sent it to him and he sent it back 2 hours. Put on oven mitts. That's what he said.
Wow, it's crazy.
Put on oven mitts. You guessed.
You got Lil Yachty in the album, you got Labyrinth, you got GHETTS, THEOPHILUS London. How did French Montana, like, how did that collaboration come about? Because every time he's in the UK, again, always bigs you up. The last time he was in just before Christmas, he was like, you know, I was doing the interview, he's like, yeah, but, you know, I got hooked up with gigs, man. Like, you know, like, everyone bigs you up every time they're coming in town. So, like, how did that relation kick off? When did that start?
To be honest, French was like, I remember like from early, like I think like 05, 06, French used to link with like a couple man like from Brixton and that. Yeah, I remember, yeah, Montana and that. And then I used to hear like someone from over that side, because we didn't really, our ends and that ends didn't really get on then. And I used to hear that man saying, yeah, like French wants to link up with you and that, like, you know what I mean? But like, we weren't really in it with like that side. We just like, it never ended up happening. And we just never ended up linking. But like, I used to chat to Harry Fraud, and he always used to say, yeah, like French, you know. Even that Shot Caller show, I was meant to even be on that tune. Remember, wanna be a baller.
Yeah, it was a banger.
They sent that to me. That tune.
Wow.
But I went jail. I remember that. And so we just never ended up linking, but we always like, do you know what I'm saying? Like kind of similar paths, like, you get me? Like, then we just ended up linking one time when he was here. And then we just made bare tunes. Like.
So you got more than one?
Yeah, we got bare tunes, me and friends. Yeah.
We ever gonna see a joint project?
Don't know.
All right, you just make it sound so easy, innit? It's just like, you know, bare tunes and French Montana, you know. Like.
Nah, it's not even a guess, like, you know, man's just talking. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like normal and that. Like, it's mad for man as well, you know. You know, like, obviously, I'm just dealing with it, innit? Like, right. But like these are like all legends and like Kiss and that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's not normal. Like SWIZZ, like that's man's brethren and that. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying, man? Just reason that. But obviously, I used to listen to these man like in like fucking college and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I mean? I've watched these man's thing like forever. You get me? And now, man, just reason. You know, it's mad for man as well. You get me? But I don't know. Like, man loves music so much. Like, it's like I've like been a student of it. You know what I'm saying? A student of like hip hop and that. You get me? Like, so it's like it just feels like it's just meant to be anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's at the same time, it's mad, but it's like feels like that's the way it's meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yo, the joint you in? Like, how did this come about?
This is just straight gangster music. That's it. This is for the whips, like for the G's, whatever. You know what I mean?
How often, you know, when you're in album mode, how often you hear at the studio, like putting it together? Like, what are the hours like? The average working hours for gigs when he's putting an album together?
Yeah, man's just here. That's it. Like, just non-stop.
So you're here in your own studio. It's like, so let's say you come up with the idea for that joint. Like you got your engineer here. You're just like, is this one of them? He's just on call. He's just here all the time with you. Like where you're like, yo, I need to do this. Like how's it work?
Man would just come at night and then just vibes all night. That's it.
To daylight.
Yeah.
On this album, what was the longest track? Like, what was it? What was the most, let's say, challenging to complete?
Nothing really.
So I say you just make it look easy though, innit?
I'm not trying to guess it, but nothing wasn't like that. Like everything is just, cause you see like the way the studio is out there now, bare man, it's always like that. You know what I'm saying, man? It's always vibes in, so it's just all the time in the world. You're not rushing. Man's just chilling hours on. You know what I mean? Like so, it's not. There's no pressure. You know what I mean? So everything's just a vibes, and it just comes out naturally. You know what I mean?
Yo, gigs last year, right? Like, I got asked to interview Swiss Beats, so I fly out to New York, but then it's like, oh no, I'm not there. I'm in LA, so I have to fly out to LA. This is all on the same day as well. So I'm in Beverly Hills, right? I'm on this rooftop. I'm kind of stunning right now, but I'm on this rooftop and I'm with Swiss Beats. but you know the craziest thing, right? I'm on a rooftop with Swiss Beats, palm trees everywhere, and we're talking about the importance of gigs. It was deep. Like you know, it's like you said, he's fam, he's your friends, but he's genuinely a massive fan, and it's just again, you know, from a DJ perspective, to be able to talk to another artist who, you know, he's one of the greatest producers all time, you know, and he's talking about the greatness of gigs. I don't know, I thought that was a special moment personally.
Bro, it's mad, bro, man. Like I said earlier, you know what I mean? These are legends, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The Come Again joint's a banger as well.
Yeah, it's hard.
Video was crazy.
Yeah.
So
That was like an old Rough Riders video, bro. That was like man in an old Rough Riders video. Like, you know what I mean? That man grew up watching, you know what I mean? And man's...
Was in London.
Yeah, in ends as well. Like,
mad,
bro.
Double-decker bus and all that.
Mad.
It's crazy. So how did you decide, like, this was the joint for your album? Because presumably you got a few bangers with Swizz as well, right? You could just choose for what, like...
Nah, this got laced for the album. Like,
Serious?
You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
That's like victory lap with music. That's like start the show music. It's like either way, you could start the show, finish the show with that one. That's crazy. Swiss Beats said stand up Peckham.
Mad.
That's crazy.
Swiss Beats screaming at Peckham. That's nuts.
That's mad. Was that recorded here as well? Right here in the studio?
Yeah, I done my bit. Yeah, he done his bit.
Right. All right. That's fire.
Man.
What was it like performing with him when he came over? Because he did it different, right? He did something. I've never seen you do that before. It was totally different performance with violins and everything and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. It's just mad, bro.
That's crazy. Yo, it's Capital Xtra, DJ Semtex, Gigs, Big Bag, the banger, GWOP expenses. Yo, Gigs. You know what? I like the beat in it. You know I'm gonna like the beat in it. It's like
again. He's going hard, isn't it?
Yo, he's going hard, man. Snips came through, man. Snips definitely came through. But you know what I like about that as well? You got WRETCH rapping. Like, rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you brought it back. It never went anywhere, but I know he likes to sing it, and I always rip him about this as well. He knows, innit? We talk about this all the time. Yeah, I'm just glad you brought him back, man. Was that track, did that come about because you felt like it just suited the track, or was it just like, you know what, I want him to spit? How did that come about?
Yeah, no, that was like, that's one of them ones only WRETCH could deal with, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Little hip-hop vibes.
A proper spitter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could only, you know what I mean?
Was that in the same folder from Snips? Or was that
the same folder? Yeah, there was other hard ones as well.
Serious?
Bro, yeah, bangers, bro. I was like, yeah. But like I said, I was kind of expecting it still.
Yeah, you got the gold right there. So this is it, 5th album, Big Bad How's it feel?
Just can't wait for everyone to hear it. I can't believe it's here though. It's mad. Man's been cooking this, you know what I mean? Now it's here. It's crazy, bro. Trust me.
It's dope.
Feel real now.
It's dope to see you got the same hunger and same passion. Like if not anything, it's grown even more. But it's a dope album. Real privilege to be able to do this with you today. It's like, you should definitely do this on the next one. And yo, man, it's a crazy career. Like, I know you're like, oh yes, you know, just doing music. But like 5 albums, copious amounts of mixtapes, like you've come a long way, man. Seriously. Like I was thinking about it today, I was getting gassed. I was like, wow. Because when you start thinking about different albums and then different situations that you was going through and then people trying to hold you back and stuff like that, it's dope we're at this point. And it's dope that, you know, you got such an amazing body of work. Congrats,
thanks.
man.
Oh, thanks.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans, like the day ones, people who've been there from the beginning?
Yeah, just thanks for keeping me here. Trust me. Like, even like, you know, like sometimes you just like feel low or like nothing's going on, you know, like the fans, like even if it's just 1 or 2, like that message you every day or something, like letting you know, yeah, your thing's cold, or like, do you know what I mean? Just always grateful for that, you know what I'm saying? Like people embracing you and showing love and that, you know what I mean?
What have you got lined up for the rest of the year?
Oh, fuck knows, I ain't even thought that far. I just want to get today out of the way. I'm not gonna lie, man.
All right, well, listen, congratulations, man. We're going to be blazing it months, years from now right here on Capital Xtra. And like I said, this was an honor. This is a privilege. UK, thanks for staying locked. Gigs, as always, thank you, man. It's appreciated.
Thank you.